Well, if you're a betting person and you got some money on there being another Alec Murdaugh murder trial, well, your odds keep getting better and better, it
Mm.
seems. Becky Hill, who initially is the individual that was pointed to and allegations were made of jury tampering, keeps digging that hole in the ground just a little bit deeper, seeming almost by the day. Of course, her son also been brought up on charges of wiretapping, but now Becky, on top of that, also now accused in some ethics complaints of misusing her position for her own personal gain, cashing a check for $10,000 made out to Culleton County, giving favorable treatment to a photographer covering the Murdaugh trial, and missing work to promote her book, Behind the Doors of Justice, The Murdaugh Murders. One of those things where this all started rolling downhill. Joining us to discuss, Siobhan Scott, psychotherapist and author. Is this something where, the hole got dug and she just didn't know when to stop digging? Or I don't know. I mean, it seems that she's doing basically everything she shouldn't be right now if she truly wants this verdict to stick.
Yeah, again, you have to some people have said, "Oh, but she's such a nice lady." Poor judgment, poor judgment, self-serving, and again, the rules don't seem to apply to her.
No.
It's again another strange aspect to a very strange case. It just keeps getting weirder and weirder.
There seems to be a lot of uh, sweeping things under the rug, a lot of dismissing of things in this part of the country, in the South Carolina's Low Country, uh, because folks can be folksy. Like, oh yeah,
Mhm.
nice lady, Alec
Nice lady.
Murdaugh trying to portray that. Everybody that we've seen, I think, that has come through the circus of the Alec Murdaugh trial. Oh yeah, they're a good person. They're a nice person. Everybody thought Alec was a good person forever.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, everybody looks at Judge Clifton Newman. Seems like a really good guy, and I have nothing bad to say about him. As far as I know, he was a pretty good judge on this. But the thing is, he was there in this courthouse. This was his clerk. There is an ecosystem to some of these things, and it starts and stops somewhere. I don't know how involved Newman was with these sort of antics. Probably not at all. But you got to assume that this isn't happening in a vacuum, and this is part of a culture that was going on in that environment that allowed this sort of behavior to thrive and only get thrown into the red area when the spotlight went on it and said, "Yeah, you can't do that. This is not how things are done."
Yeah, yeah, very true. The culture over and over, we've seen evidence that it's done a bit differently there, and things are tolerated and overlooked. And yeah, even with Becky Hill going to the supposedly the ethics committee and getting approval for writing a book, it's like, what's up with that?
Yeah,
That's so strange. Anything that an individual is profiting from that they did in their capacity as a professional, you don't have dual relationships like that. You don't blend in a book that you're going to be making money from with your job. That just should not fly. So again, we wonder, what is the ethics committee like there and
yeah.
how serious are they?
I mean, is it just small town thinking? We've never dealt with something like this before. It's a book, and she's self published too, so it's not like a publisher was coming to her with a big sum of money. She's making whatever pennies on the dollar, that are coming out of her self publishing, which I'm sure is not much.
Yeah.
How is someone like this so disconnected though from reality of what's going on? I mean, is this something where you think maybe Becky Hill's always been like this, or can people sometimes get into, kind of almost, little domes of the world that they're in at that moment in time, and when the snow globe is shaking and you can't quite see what's all going on, it's easy to make bad decisions like this, considering the spotlight and all of the action that was going on and distractions in the lives of these people over the last year with the Murdoch trial?
Yeah, it would be interesting to know how many other cases she may not have written books about, but has she maybe been really loose with boundaries? And this could be a constant pattern. And then the other thing that's possible is that she was excited about this trial.
Yeah.
I mean, this was a big thing in a very small community. And it's sort of like, whoa, there went the judgment right out the window because she was just caught up in the drama of it all.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what it makes me wonder, where sometimes not necessarily intended nefarious behavior taking place,
Right.
but kind of over the top behavior starting to
Yeah.
take place. What comes to mind is the movie Waiting for Guffman from years ago. You familiar with this?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
Yes.
with Christopher Guest, I believe, and
Yeah.
the whole small town. This one big special
The
person is coming.
big
All this
thing.
attention is coming to this town, and everybody just goes to such extremes to present themselves in these different ways than they truly actually are.
Yes.
It kind of
Yes.
feels like that. There's maybe an element of that was taking place in the courthouse there.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of drama
Yeah,
and excitement just goes with that. And having it televised and, her
yeah,
role, she probably felt very important. And we got a bit of ego going
yeah.
here. But yeah, writing her name on the check, I mean, boy, this is pushing the limits over and over.
Very much so. I mean, in many ways, it's mirroring a bit of the Murdaugh trial. Take murder out of it, but it's something where you have the initial accusation of jury tampering, you have the accusation of murder against Alex Murdaugh by itself, and on the merits of the evidence and the cases themselves, could have gone either way. But then when you added in all the financial crimes to Murdaugh, and it showed a lot more about his character,
Yeah.
that really, I think, pushed a lot of people over the edge. Same with Becky Hill here. These are
Yeah.
allegations, but we just knew about the possible jury tampering, or maybe she spoke out
Mhm.
of turn. Now we're seeing this of allegedly cashing checks for 10 grand made out to the
Mhm.
county. That shows a huge character flaw. That shows that someone's willing to go above and beyond and do things that they have to know is wrong. So why would, if they're lying about this over here, why would they not
Right.
be lying about that over
Right.
there?
There goes the credibility.
Yeah. And it's gonna be interesting to see if that credibility, has been shot to the point where it actually does end up giving Alex Murdaugh a second trial.
Mm.
Evidentiary hearings and such coming up. We'll keep a close eye on those.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Tony Bruschi. If you like the podcast, be sure to like, subscribe, and press that bell so you don't miss any of our updates on the cases we're following for you right here at the Hidden Killers podcast from True Crime Today. And thanks